Paul Brendan Lyles, and this is Make and Do in my shop. And I have some rethinks to talk us through, some things to show you in my sketchbooks, and how I'm going to handle this top portion here with the oval, a very small oval I might add, of my potbelly wood burning stove install. That hasn't occurred yet. I've got most of the pieces. The only thing I lack is the hardware, the actual nuts and bolts that I reordered to replace the originals in steel for a reassembly of the unit itself, which is, by the way, I think just about as beautiful as I could have asked for. It's got the opening door, the ventilation system. The door swings on hinges that can be lifted off if necessary. Just cool. I retrofit this piece down here with a cast iron plate that's 9 inches in diameter, and I had to do a little bit of grinding to get it past those teeth, but it ended up working out quite nice. Okay, a couple things I've learned during this tabletop project, especially in the dead of winter. If you inadvertently leave your glue bottle in a shop where the temperature is going to drop into the 30s, then you've got issues, because your glue is going to paste up. Even though it's not necessarily dry, it will begin to harden because of the temperatures. So one way to fix this, set it, within 2 feet of your heat source, maybe 2 feet. I wouldn't go any closer. Elevate it a little bit on a stool and allow it an hour to warm up with the rest of the room. But even, let's say you're reaching, like this one, you're reaching the bottom of that bottle. You're really tired of just having to squeeze that bottle and bring the pressure through enough to where it will flow nicely. My solution to this, and you'll probably see it in the video, is to use a quick grip as my handle, but also my squeezer. And I like this bottle for this because I can hold by this, create a nice even line with even amounts of pressure, and I'm not shaking or any such thing trying to make glue come out. So handy little hack there for those who are having trouble with the same issues that I was. The other things that I've picked up is that welding and grinding can serve me well. And what I ended up doing is I ordered this piece, and then I had to reshape it myself. It goes from a 6-inch diameter circle to a larger oval that used to be 6 inches, and they just reshaped it. Didn't bother hammering it, stretching it to make it fit an oval like this. But I reshaped this to where if I work it just right, I can squeeze it into that oval, push down on it. It gives me a really nice seal, especially when I put the fiberglass rope and a little bit of the black sealer in there. Temperature rated, of course, for about 1,000 degrees or 2,000. I've got one sealer that's 2,000. So that worked beautifully, but I want to show you how I was able to accomplish this. One is I used temperature rated high heat black matte paint to finish after grinding my welding, because I'm not a welder. Very happily welded these together. I will show you how I work that. Quite simple. I'll show you with this piece of paper I've already fit. So basically this is what I started with. Spot welded down here with maybe, it looks like 4 taps, which is fine. I went in and I took my metal snips to about 3/4 of the way up on the right and the left, and then basically with some real effort in the metal, wearing gloves of course, I overlapped those ends like so, and I found a way to clamp it, and I retrofit it into this before I welded. So basically I was squeezing, shaping, and getting it to the right measurement, and I went ahead and welded this seam on the outside and the one on the inside, grinded the one on the outside down, and painted, and I ended up with a beautiful seal. I cut through a little bit in the welding because it is thin metal. I very carefully welded the right and left and built it back up, and I was able to grind it down, and I didn't lose any material. Really nice tight fit. I also ended up grinding this to a flat circle for a better fit, because once you do this, you fold it over itself, what's going to occur that it comes down to a little dip. So I ground the left and the right off of that to flatten it again, and just eyeballed it, put it on the table, make sure it wasn't leaning. Did that on both ends, and that's how I got this guy to work. It's really a nice looking profile, so I'm very pleased with it.